Welcome to The Power of Concentration, a transformative book that explores how to develop and apply the power of concentration in your daily life. This audiobook is a long summary of the original book by Theron Dumont, but made exclusively by us, with a practical and adapted approach so that you can apply the principles of concentration on your path to personal and professional success. Throughout this summary, I will guide you through the book's key principles, showing how concentration can be the force that drives your will, strengthens your decisions, and helps you achieve your most ambitious goals. From overcoming bad habits to improving your memory skills and achieving greater mental control, this audiobook offers you a complete guide to mastering concentration and making the most of it in all aspects of your life. If you are ready to unlock the unlimited potential of your mind and transform your thoughts into concrete results, this audiobook is for you. Don't forget to subscribe for more content that will help you improve your life and develop skills that will accompany you on your journey to success. Let's start this journey together towards a more focused and successful life. Chapter 1. The importance of concentration. Concentration is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful elements in creating a successful life. In this first chapter of The Power of Concentration, Theron Dumont presents the fundamental impact of concentration on all aspects of life, highlighting how mental focus is the catalyst for effective action. Concentration as a key tool for personal success. Jordan begins by explaining that personal success does not depend exclusively on innate talents or external circumstances, but is largely determined by our ability to focus our minds. Concentration allows us to direct our mental energy towards a specific goal, which increases our efficiency and allows us to achieve our goals more quickly. Without concentration, even the greatest dreams and talents fade into the fog of mental dispersion. The author highlights that mental concentration is the basis of all achievement. It's not just about having a goal, but about being able to keep our focus on it without distractions. Throughout the chapter, it is explained that the human mind has immense power, but only if it is able to concentrate on a single purpose in a coherent and constant manner. The impact of concentration on decision-making. One of the key takeaways from the chapter is how concentration affects our ability to make effective decisions. People who lack concentration often feel indecisive and have difficulty choosing a clear path, as their mind is occupied with too many scattered thoughts. On the other hand, those who master concentration, they are able to make decisions with confidence because their mind is focused on what really matters. Jordan invites us to consider that, through concentration, we can eliminate doubt and procrastination, which allows us to move decisively towards our goals. Concentration not only affects our productivity, but also improves our ability to plan, organize, and execute. In this way, the concentrated mind acts as a magnifying glass, intensifying our capacity for action and focusing it on specific results. Concentration and the relationship with willpower. The author makes a direct connection between concentration and willpower. To achieve something meaningful in life, you need not only a desire or a goal, but also the discipline to focus on that goal without deviating. Concentration, according to Dumont, is what allows a person to overcome obstacles and persist in the pursuit of their goals. Willpower and concentration feed off each other. The consistent practice of focusing on what is important strengthens our ability to maintain focus, while the willingness to keep going despite difficulties strengthens our concentration. The author suggests that, by training our minds to concentrate more effectively, we also develop greater determination and inner strength. Concentration as a trainable skill. One of the main takeaways from this chapter is that concentration is not an innate skill, but rather a trainable skill. Like any other skill, it can be improved with practice. Dumont emphasizes that concentration is a matter of focus and habit. The deliberate practice of reorienting our mind toward our goals and maintaining that focus over time is what really allows us to master the skill. The author suggests several techniques and exercises that can help us improve our concentration, such as meditating, performing tasks without interruptions, and practicing mindfulness. Over time, our mind becomes stronger and more disciplined, able to stay focused for longer periods and in more challenging situations. Chapter conclusion. Chapter 1 provides us with a solid foundation for understanding the importance of concentration in daily life. As we've learned, concentration isn't just a state of mind, but a practical skill that we can train to reach our goals more efficiently. By learning to focus effectively, we improve our decision-making ability, our willpower, and ultimately achieve the success we desire in our lives. Not only does this chapter motivate us to cultivate concentration, but it also provides us with the foundation on which to build all the rest of the book's principles, which will delve deeper into how to apply this powerful skill in every area of our lives. This first chapter clearly states that concentration is the key to success. By mastering this skill, we can face any challenge with determination, achieve our goals more quickly, and live a fuller, more successful life. Chapter 2. How concentration finds its way in this chapter. William George Jordan delves into the concept of how concentration has the power to find the path to success and personal fulfillment. Here, it focuses on how concentration not only organizes our thoughts, but also directs our mental energy toward achieving concrete goals. According to the author, a focused mind not only responds to life's challenges more effectively, but also opens doors to new opportunities, directs our efforts, and allows us to reach the destination we desire. The connection between will and concentration. Jordan begins this chapter by highlighting how willpower and concentration are two powerful forces that reinforce each other. While will drives us to act, concentration helps us stay on track toward our goals. In this sense, concentration is the catalyst that ensures that our will materializes into effective action. The author explains that, without concentration, the will can easily be dispersed. It is easy to give in to the temptations or distractions of everyday life, but when we have the ability to focus our attention on what really matters, our will is strengthened and becomes a powerful tool for success. In short, concentration acts as the rudder that guides our will towards the desired destination. The mind as a driver of actions. Jordan goes on to describe how the focused mind is like an engine that drives our actions. The human mind, when not focused, tends to wander, causing our actions to become inconsistent and inefficient. But when we focus our mental energies on a single goal, our efforts multiply and the acceleration toward success becomes evident. By focusing on something specific, our mental energy is channeled, making our decisions more accurate and our actions more effective. In this way, concentration becomes an engine that propels us forward, maximizing the impact of each of our actions and achieving results more quickly. Concentration like a beacon that illuminates the way. A powerful concept that Jordan introduces in this chapter is the idea that concentration acts as a beacon that illuminates the path. Just as a lighthouse guides ships in the dark, concentration guides us through life's uncertainties. When our mind is focused on a clear goal, we become more aware of the opportunities that arise in our path, and we have the mental clarity to make the right decisions at key moments. Jordan explains that many times, opportunities are present in front of us, but due to mental dispersion or lack of focus, we do not recognize them. By concentrating, we not only see those opportunities, but we also make the most of them, because our mind is completely aligned with our purpose. The power of concentration to overcome obstacles. The author also points out that concentration has the ability to overcome obstacles that would otherwise seem insurmountable. Challenges are an inevitable part of life, but a focused mind can overcome them more easily. When we are focused on a goal, difficulties are seen as challenges to be solved rather than insurmountable barriers. Concentration gives us clarity, determination, and strategy to find solutions, even when the path seems blocked. Concentration allows us to think clearly without being carried away by stress or emotions that often amplify problems. By focusing our mental energy on what we can control, we find the strength necessary to overcome any obstacle that comes our way. Concentration and effective action. A key point in this chapter is the relationship between concentration and effective action. Concentration is not just about thinking about something intensely, but about turning that thought into action. The author explains that action without concentration tends to be inefficient and disorderly, while action directed by concentration has a clear purpose and precise execution. Jordan encourages us to take concrete actions, but always guided by a focused mind. This way, every step we take is aligned with our ultimate goal, and every action contributes significantly to our progress. Concentration and action go hand in hand, and it is only when both are synchronized that we can achieve truly impactful results. The concentrated mind as a source of creativity. Jordan also reminds us that concentration is an engine of creativity. People often feel like they are trapped in predictable solutions when faced with complex problems. However, a focused mind is able to think outside the box and find creative solutions that would not have arisen without a clear focus. When we focus, we can access a creative capacity that allows us to see new possibilities and find innovative paths toward our goals. Concentration is not just about doing things efficiently, but about doing them intelligently and with a focus on what really has value. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter leaves us with the understanding that concentration is the key to finding the path to success. Through concentration, we channel our mental energy, overcome obstacles, make wiser decisions, and find opportunities that would have otherwise gone unnoticed. Concentration thus becomes the tool that guides us, motivates us to act, and brings us closer to our goals. In this chapter, we have learned that concentration is one of the most powerful skills we can develop to transform our lives and achieve our goals more effectively. By focusing our minds on what really matters, the path to success becomes much clearer and more achievable. Chapter 3. Self-Direction. The Power of Concentration. In this chapter, William George Jordan delves into the concept of self-direction and how mental focus plays a crucial role in self-governance and in the ability to direct our lives towards success. Self-direction not only involves having control over our actions, but also having the mental focus necessary to set and achieve goals with intention and purpose. The connection between concentration and self-direction. Jordan begins the chapter by emphasizing that self-direction and focus are inseparable. Self-direction refers to our ability to control and direct our own actions, thoughts, and emotions toward a specific goal. However, for self-direction to be effective, it must be accompanied by concentration, as a scattered mind cannot maintain the focus necessary to make coherent decisions aligned with our goals. Concentration acts as the internal engine that directs our attention to what really matters. Without concentration, we can find ourselves doing many things without purpose or scattering our energies into goals that are not aligned with our true direction. Concentration allows us to focus our minds, which in turn strengthens our ability to self-direct our lives. The power to make conscious decisions. Jordan points out that when we develop the ability to focus, we become more aware of our decisions. Making conscious decisions involves not only choosing a course of action, but also being completely focused on the consequences of our choices. Self-direction requires us to be fully present and focused when making important decisions, as the decisions we make in the present determine the future. The author explains that when we are focused, we have a clear vision of what we want to achieve, which facilitates the process of making decisions that bring us closer to our goals. As our focus increases, our ability to make wise and effective decisions also improves, as we are making those decisions with a clear understanding of our goals and purposes. The importance of personal discipline. Another central theme in this chapter is personal discipline. Jordan argues that concentration is essential to maintaining discipline in our daily lives. Self-direction is not possible without mental discipline that allows us to stay focused on our goals and avoid distractions. Discipline helps us persevere and stay focused even when challenges seem overwhelming. Mental concentration strengthens our inner will, allowing us to control our impulses and keep our attention on what really matters. By training our mind to be more disciplined and focused, we can stay on the right path without succumbing to temptations that divert our attention or energy. Controlling emotions through concentration. Jordan also explores how concentration helps us manage our emotions. Emotions can be one of the biggest distractions in our lives, often prompting us to make impulsive or irrational decisions. However, when we practice concentration, we are better able to take a step back and view our emotions from a more objective perspective. Concentration allows us to stop before reacting emotionally, giving us time to think clearly about how to handle a situation. This emotional control is crucial for self-direction, as it allows us to maintain our calm and rationality even in times of stress or confusion. By replacing impulsive responses with thoughtful responses, we can make wiser decisions aligned with our goals. Self-direction as a constant practice. An important point that Jordan makes is that self-direction is a skill that must be constantly practiced. Like any other skill, self-direction requires constant exercise and training. Concentration must be cultivated and trained every day to improve our ability to make focused decisions and direct our lives effectively. Jordan encourages us to be mindful of our actions and thoughts throughout the day. By practicing concentration in our daily activities, we can strengthen our self-direction, allowing us to lead our lives with greater purpose and determination. Every small act of concentration reinforces our ability to take control of our lives and work toward our goals. Self-direction as a key to personal success. At the end of the chapter, Jordan concludes that self-direction is key to personal success. When we can focus on what really matters and make conscious and disciplined decisions, our path to success becomes much clearer. Concentration not only helps us stay on track, it also strengthens our ability to act effectively, even in times of uncertainty or difficulty. The author reinforces the idea that self-direction is not a trait exclusive to some people, but that we can all cultivate it. Mental focus and discipline allow us to take control of our lives and direct them towards the outcomes we desire, becoming active architects of our own destiny. Chapter conclusion. This chapter highlights the importance of focusing on self-direction as the engine of personal success. Through self-direction and mental focus, we can control our actions, improve our decision-making, and build a life aligned with our deepest desires. The key is to train our mind to stay focused, disciplined, and in control of our emotions. Over time, this skill becomes a powerful tool for achieving our most ambitious goals and living with purpose. Chapter 4. Earning what you want through concentration. In this chapter, William George Jordan discusses the powerful relationship between mental focus and achieving our goals. According to the author, concentration is not simply a mental exercise to improve our ability to focus, but an active force that guides us towards the realization of our personal desires and goals. This chapter explores how concentration is a driver for effective action and how focusing our mental energy on a single purpose ensures that we can achieve what we want in life. Concentration as a tool to define what you want. Jordan begins by emphasizing that in order to achieve what we want, we must first define what we really want. Concentration is the key to making a clear decision about what we really want to achieve in life. Many people live in a state of confusion, not really knowing what they want or how to focus on their goals. A lack of concentration is what prevents them from achieving success, as their efforts are scattered in too many directions. The author invites us to be specific about our desires and goals. Clarifying what we want and focusing solely on that goal is the first and most important action to achieve it. Concentration turns a vague desire into a clear goal, giving us a unique mental focus to direct all our energies towards its fulfillment. Concentration directs our energy towards action. Jordan emphasizes that focus isn't just about thinking about something, it's about channeling all of our energy into a specific action. It is not just about visualizing our desires, but about turning that visualization into concrete action. Concentration directs our energy towards achieving goals and allows us to make the right decisions, apply constant effort, and move forward effectively. The author illustrates how, when we focus fully on a goal, everything we do becomes a step toward that goal. Concentration transforms our mental energy in effective action, which progressively takes us towards the achievement of our desires. Without concentration, our efforts are dispersed and, therefore, we fail to make significant progress. The power of a focused mind. One of the most powerful ideas in the chapter is that a focused mind is capable of creating meaningful results, while a scattered mind is trapped in procrastination and lack of decisive action. Jordan maintains that a focused mind not only sees opportunities, but also has the determination and clarity to act on them. When we are able to maintain a constant and deep focus on our goals, our mind begins to work for us, aligning our decisions, actions, and thoughts with the objective we want to achieve. The focused mind is not distracted by momentary problems or temporary difficulties, but rather remains focused on the end result, and this focus creates an invincible energy that propels us towards success. How concentration increases our productivity. Jordan also highlights how concentration increases our productivity exponentially. When we focus on a particular task or goal, all of our mental energy is used more efficiently. Instead of being scattered in multiple directions, focusing on a single goal allows us to move faster and more effectively. Concentration acts as an amplifier of our productivity since it eliminates the dispersion of energy and allows us to apply all our capacity to the task at hand. In addition, concentration helps us eliminate distractions and makes it easier for us to make decisions because our mind is already trained to focus only on what is important. This, in turn, increases our ability to produce tangible results. The relationship between concentration and persistence. Another key aspect in this chapter is how concentration is closely related to persistence. Persistence is not only about moving forward despite obstacles, but also about maintaining focus on the goal over time. Concentration allows us to overcome difficulties without losing direction and continue working towards the desired result. The author points out that, when we are focused, external difficulties are seen as temporary challenges and not as insurmountable barriers. Concentration acts as a constant reminder of our ultimate goal and keeps us focused on how we can overcome obstacles along the way. This ability to persist with purpose is one of the most powerful qualities that leads us to achieve what we want. The mental strength of concentration. Jordan also talks about the impact of mental strength created by concentration. As we develop our ability to concentrate, we also increase our mental strength. Focusing on our goals reinforces our mindset and allows us to stay in control of our emotions, desires, and decisions. This mental strength helps us face adversity with greater confidence and make wise decisions, even when external pressure is strong. The author emphasizes that mental concentration is a muscle that is strengthened with practice. Over time, when we exercise concentration consistently, our minds become more resilient, better able to resist distractions, and more effective in decision-making. Chapter conclusion. Chapter 4 highlights that concentration is the key to earning what we want in life. By fully focusing on our goals, we are able to channel our mental and physical energy into effective action. Concentration transforms our desires into clear goals, strengthens us mentally, and allows us to persist through difficulties. It is an engine that drives us towards the realization of our goals. This chapter invites us to reflect on our goals and evaluate how our ability to focus can accelerate our path to success. When we learn to stay focused on what really matters, we can accomplish anything we set our minds to. Chapter 5, The Quiet Force of Focus in Business, Extended Version. In this chapter, William George Jordan delves into how concentration can become a transformative tool in the business world. For many entrepreneurs, success depends not only on having good ideas, but also on the ability to focus on what really matters. Focus is not simply the act of fixing one's attention on something for a short period, but a silent, constant force that guides all decisions and actions within an organization, helping each movement to be aligned with larger goals. In the business environment, where distractions are endless, concentration becomes the deciding factor between success and failure. Concentration as a tool to make the right decisions. In the business world, decision-making is constant. Every decision, whether big or small, has the potential to transform the course of a company. Concentration plays a crucial role in making sound decisions. Quick but not well thought-out decisions can lead to disastrous consequences, while decisions made by a mind that knows how to concentrate are more precise, thoughtful, and strategic. Jordan stresses that when we focus fully on a challenge or decision, we can analyze it clearly without being influenced by external emotions or pressures. Concentration eliminates distractions, allowing entrepreneurs to focus on what really matters. With a focused mind, each option can be carefully weighed, considering both the immediate benefits and the benefits. Long-term consequences, leading to a more informed decision. Concentration also helps avoid making impulsive decisions, which is one of the main causes of failure in business. By practicing focus, leaders learn to take the time to reflect before acting, which improves the quality of decisions at all levels of the organization. Concentration on efficient time management. One of the biggest challenges in business is managing time efficiently. Constant distractions and multitasking can leave business owners feeling overwhelmed and less productive. Concentration is the key to improving time management and ensuring that every hour is dedicated to valuable activities that contribute to the achievement of the company's strategic objectives. Jordan mentions that when we are focused, all our effort is directed toward a specific task, without detours or distractions. This increases our productivity, since we do not waste time on unnecessary tasks. Concentration not only improves the quality of our work, but also reduces the time we spend on each task, allowing us to fulfill our responsibilities more effectively and efficiently. Furthermore, concentration allows activities to be prioritized according to their importance. Instead of simply reacting to the urgent demands of everyday life, a focused mind knows how to focus its efforts on what truly generates value and drives the business forward. This strategic approach enables business leaders to make wiser decisions about where to invest their time, resources, and energy. Concentration as the key to innovation. Innovation is a vital aspect for any company seeking to grow and remain competitive. However, innovation doesn't come from simply thinking about ideas. It originates when entrepreneurs are able to focus deeply on a problem or challenge and seek creative solutions. According to Jordan, concentration acts as the engine that drives creativity, allowing more focused minds to develop new solutions to old problems. The author points out that business innovation begins with a mind capable of blocking external distractions and focusing on the present. Only when we are fully focused can we identify unseen opportunities, develop innovative ideas, and implement them effectively. Focus allows companies to stay ahead in an ever-changing market, as the focused mind not only focuses on current problems, but also imagines future solutions that can transform the sector. Concentration for effective leadership. Effective leadership is another crucial component in the success of any company, and focus plays a critical role in successful leadership. Business leaders. Those who can focus not only make wiser decisions, but are also able to stay calm and lead clearly during times of uncertainty or crisis. Jordan notes that focus allows leaders to maintain the long-term vision without getting lost in day-to-day details that could divert their attention from strategic goals. Concentration allows them to make decisions with confidence, since they are focused on what really matters. Additionally, focused leaders can convey that calm to their teams, which strengthens the organization's overall performance. By practicing focus, leaders also develop greater empathy and active listening skills, which improves the quality of their working relationships. By being fully present during interactions, leaders can better understand their team's needs and take steps to support them effectively. Concentration as a way to delegate efficiently. A key aspect that Jordan highlights is that concentration also facilitates efficient delegation. Instead of trying to do everything themselves, focused entrepreneurs know how to focus their efforts on key areas and delegate tasks that others can do just as effectively. This allows leaders to free up time and energy to make strategic decisions and guide the business toward new opportunities. The author explains that one of the pitfalls of lack of concentration is that many entrepreneurs try to do everything themselves, which can lead to overload and fatigue. By being more focused, leaders can identify which tasks they need to delegate and find the right people to perform them, improving the efficiency of the company as a whole. Concentration as the principle of perseverance. Finally, Jordan emphasizes that concentration is the engine that fuels perseverance in business. Persistence is an essential attribute for entrepreneurs, especially when facing temporary difficulties or setbacks. Concentration allows entrepreneurs to stay focused on their long-term vision and keep moving forward, even when obstacles seem insurmountable. Concentration gives us the ability to overcome frustration and fatigue by continually reminding us that success is a process, not an event. By staying focused on the goal, we can persist with determination and overcome any challenge. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter highlights that concentration is a silent and powerful force that influences all aspects of business. From decision-making to innovation, concentration becomes the engine that drives business success. By learning to focus effectively, we can maximize our productivity, make wiser decisions, and strengthen our leadership abilities. The chapter also teaches us that concentration not only improves the quality of our work, but also enriches our working relationships, increases our ability to delegate, and strengthens our perseverance. In the competitive world of business, concentration is the key to moving forward strategically and successfully. This chapter shows us that, in business, concentration is a determining factor in achieving success. With a clear and focused mind, we can overcome obstacles, innovate, and lead effectively, thus building a strong and successful company. Chapter 6: How Concentration Unites Humanity. In this chapter, William George Jordan explores how mental focus has a power beyond the individual and how it can be a unifying force in humanity. The ability to focus not only improves our lives on a personal level, but it also has the ability to connect people and create a more cohesive community. Jordan invites us to reflect on how the power of concentration can transform our relationships, strengthen cooperation, and foster a sense of unity in the world. The connection between concentrated thoughts. Jordan begins this chapter by highlighting that when we think in a concentrated way, we not only influence our own lives, but we also affect others. Concentrated thoughts have a magnetic effect because when our mind is intensely focused on something, that mental energy radiates and can influence the thoughts of the people around us. In this way, people who practice concentration can create a positive field of influence that impacts not only their own actions, but also the way others respond. The author reminds us that negative and scattered thoughts also have an impact on others, although usually in destructive ways. Conversely, when we focus positively, our mental energy can be a vehicle for peace, cooperation, and mutual understanding. Jordan highlights that concentration becomes a bridge that unites people by creating an environment where empathy and mutual respect can thrive. Concentration as the engine of unity. An important aspect of the chapter is how concentration can bring human beings together, regardless of their backgrounds, beliefs, or personal interests. Jordan stresses that when we focus on common values and shared goals, our thoughts transcend the barriers of division. Whether in a company, a community, or a nation, the focus on what unites us rather than what divides us has the power to foster cooperation. The author also reminds us that discrepancies between people often arise due to mental distractions and lack of focus. People can get misunderstood or confronted when they don't focus on what's truly important. However, when we focus on common goals and positive actions, our differences fade, and we find it easier to work together for the greater good. The power of concentration in interpersonal relationships. Jordan delves into how concentration affects our personal relationships. Whether with friends, family, coworkers, or even strangers, the power of concentration allows us to listen and understand each other better. The mindfulness that concentration brings helps remove the barriers that often separate us and makes us more empathetic and compassionate toward others. The author also mentions that a focused person can perceive the needs of others more clearly and deeply. Concentration allows communication to flow unhindered, as we can listen without prejudice and respond with intention and understanding. The ability to be fully present with another person can transform a superficial interaction into a meaningful relationship. Concentration on conflict resolution. One area where concentration has a crucial impact is in conflict resolution. When we are focused on finding solutions, rather than simply reacting emotionally to a problem, we can confront differences rationally and constructively. Jordan maintains that concentration allows you to see things from a broader perspective, making it easier to find solutions that benefit all parties involved. Instead of falling into polarization or destructive competition, concentration allows us to focus our energies on collaboration, seeking the common good rather than focusing only on differences. Thus, concentration not only improves our personal relationships, but also gives us the tools to live together in harmony. Concentration on social and collective progress. Jordan also reflects on how concentration can be a powerful force for social progress. On a collective level, when a society focuses on justice, the common well-being, and the progress of its members, it can overcome social divisions and work toward larger goals. Social focus involves working together to solve the biggest problems, rather than getting caught up in minor problems or divisive arguments. The author observes that great social reforms and collective advances are achieved when a group of people focuses on a common ideal, whether it is education for all, the elimination of poverty, or the protection of the environment. By uniting their efforts around a common purpose and acting with focus and determination, societies can achieve lasting, positive change. Focus on creating a better world. Jordan concludes the chapter by inviting us to think about the impact our own focused actions can have on creating a better world. The concentration. Not only does it improve our lives, but it also has the power to create a ripple effect, influencing those around us and helping to build a world where collaboration, peace, and collective progress are the norm. Every focused action we take, from small, everyday interactions to large social movements, can contribute to common well-being. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter has taught us that concentration not only benefits the individual, but also has the power to transform our relationships and societies. Concentration unites humanity by removing the mental and emotional barriers that divide us. It allows us to work together toward common goals, resolve conflicts effectively, and build a more cohesive and harmonious world. Concentration acts as a silent but powerful force that connects us to others, making it possible for us to work more effectively in developing a shared future. By applying focus to our interactions and our collective goals, we can create a more collaborative world where we all work together for the common good. This chapter reinforces the idea that concentration is not only useful on a personal level, but can also be the engine that drives positive change in the world. Chapter 7. Training the Will for Action. In this chapter, William George Jordan explores how willpower and concentration work together to create effective action. Will is the inner force that drives us to act, while concentration directs that force toward specific objectives. Through training of the will, we can not only make conscious decisions, but also execute them with determination and persistence. The author emphasizes that will is something that can be developed and strengthened with constant practice, and that concentration is an essential component of this process. Will as the engine of action. Jordan begins the chapter by stating that will is the driving force behind all human actions. Without will, people may have desires and goals, but they do not act on them. Willpower is what drives us to make decisions and move forward, even when circumstances are difficult or challenging. Without will, concentration would have no purpose, since will gives the direction to which concentration should be applied. The will has the power to overcome internal obstacles, such as procrastination, doubt, and indecision. The author explains that will is more than a personal characteristic. It is a skill that can be trained. Will is not limited to a small number of people but can be developed by everyone through practice and discipline. The relationship between will and concentration. One of the main ideas Jordan stresses is that focus and will are intimately connected. Will is what leads us to start a task, but concentration is what allows us to stay focused on it until its completion. The will, being directed by concentration, becomes a more powerful force directed towards effective action. The author gives the example of great human achievements and points out that all people who have achieved something significant in life, whether in the scientific, business, or artistic field, have achieved it thanks to their ability to stay focused and apply their will in their long-term projects. Concentration ensures that our will does not disperse or lose direction, but remains focused on the action that will lead to the achievement of the goal. Training the will with daily practice. Jordan stresses that will is not something we are born with, but rather a skill that must be trained. Just as we train the body to be stronger, we can train our will to be more resilient. Will training begins with small acts of self-control, such as sticking through difficult tasks, resisting the temptation of procrastination, and maintaining discipline in our daily routines. The author explains that daily practice of the will not only makes us stronger, but also helps us develop a firmer character. By training our will, We are also strengthening our ability to make decisions and act with determination, which, in turn, allows us to achieve our goals more quickly. Every time we exert our will to move forward with a task or overcome a difficulty, we are building our capacity to act with power. Perseverance as a result of trained will. Another important theme Jordan explores is the relationship between perseverance and trained will. Perseverance is the ability to keep working toward a goal despite temporary difficulties or failures. Will is what gives us the mental stamina to persist and not give up when the going gets tough. The author emphasizes that trained will allows us to overcome frustration and stay focused on the long-term goal. Strong-willed people are able to keep going even when circumstances seem daunting, as their mental focus is so clear and their determination so firm that they don't stray from their path. Jordan emphasizes that perseverance isn't just a matter of physical endurance, but of mental consistency. True willingness is not just to complete tasks, but to be able to repeatedly face failure and keep working toward success, keeping the focus clear on the end goal. The will applied in daily life. Throughout the chapter, Jordan gives us practical examples of how we can apply trained will in everyday life. Whether at work, at home, or at home. Relationships, trained will allows us to make wise decisions, act with determination, and avoid distractions that take us away from our goals. Practicing will also means being consistent and disciplined in our daily routines. The author suggests that one of the best methods to train the will is to practice constructive habits and eliminate destructive habits. By doing so, we develop a greater capacity for self-control, allowing us to make clearer decisions and more effective actions. The will and the creation of positive habits. Willpower is also directly related to creating positive habits. Jordan explains that as we train our willpower, we begin to integrate mutually reinforcing habits of success. Every time we exercise our will to fulfill a positive habit, we strengthen our ability to concentrate and stay focused. These positive habits become part of our daily mindset, making our ability to stay focused and act effectively become second nature. Trained will not only helps us create positive habits, but also allows us to maintain them over time, resulting in a more productive, focused, and fulfilled life. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter reinforces the idea that trained will is the key to a life of effective action. Through mental concentration, we can direct our will toward clear goals and achieve success with determination and persistence. By training our will, we overcome distractions and stay steadfast on the path to our goals, even when facing difficulties. Jordan leaves us with the powerful conclusion that will is a force that we can develop and strengthen with daily practice. By focusing on training our will, we improve our ability to act, make decisions, and consistently achieve success. Chapter 8. Concentrated mental demand. In this chapter, William George Jordan explores how focused mental demand is a fundamental principle for attracting what we desire in life. Through concentration, we not only focus our mind on a goal, but we also create a powerful force of attraction that allows our desired goals to materialize in our lives. Jordan emphasizes that by focusing on our desires in a constant and focused way, we can shape our reality more effectively and tangibly. The mind like a magnet for what you want. The author begins the chapter with the idea that the human mind is like a magnet, capable of attracting what it thinks. According to Jordan, when our mind is concentrated and focused in a desire or goal, we not only drive our actions towards that goal, but we also create a mental attraction that, in some way, causes the circumstances and opportunities necessary to achieve that desire to begin to appear in our life. Mental concentration, then, becomes a kind of magnetic field that attracts what we need to achieve our goals. Directed concentration generates a focus of energy that is projected outward and begins to influence our environment. Jordan points out that, just as the sun concentrates its light on a single point, we too must channel all our mental energy toward a single purpose. This energy, when focused consistently, has the power to transform our circumstances and open doors that previously seemed closed. The importance of clarity and desire. One of the first keys to achieving concentrated mental demand is to be clear about what we want. Jordan reminds us that vague or diffuse desire does not have the same power as a clear and defined desire. For our mind to be truly effective, we must be specific about what we want to achieve. The author explains that when we are clearly focused on a goal, our mind aligns with that goal, and we begin to notice opportunities and paths that we had not seen before. Concentration transforms a diffuse desire into a tangible goal, and that clarity generates a much greater power of attraction. The relationship between concentration and effective action. Jordan also discusses the relationship between concentration and action. It is not enough to think about what we want. We must act consistently with those desires. Concentrated mental demand not only channels our energy, but also guides us toward the action necessary to achieve our goals. The author points out that when we focus our mind on a specific goal, that concentration becomes an engine that drives us to make wise decisions, to take advantage of the opportunities presented to us, and to eliminate distractions that divert us from our task. The concentrated mind, then, drives effective action that turns dreams into reality. How concentration attracts opportunities. The author also highlights how concentration creates a field of opportunities. According to Jordan, when we are focused on our goals, we begin to attract opportunities that will help us achieve them. These opportunities are often around us, but we do not see them if our mind is scattered or preoccupied with other things. Concentration acts like a magnifying glass that amplifies opportunities and allows us to see them clearly. Additionally, Jordan encourages us to be alert and prepared to take advantage of those opportunities. The focused mind not only sees them, but acts quickly to take advantage of them, creating a virtuous cycle of growth. By focusing on a clear purpose and maintain that constant attention, the universe begins to respond in ways we did not imagine. The influence of concentration on interpersonal relationships. Jordan also talks about how concentrated mental demand can affect our relationships with others. When we are focused on a goal, our mental energy not only impacts our personal and professional lives, but also influences the people around us. The clarity and determination that comes from a focused mind conveys confidence and security, which attracts people who share our vision or who can help us advance our goals. The author explains that people are usually attracted to those who have a clear direction and who know what they want. A focused mind has the ability to foster relationships that add value and support us on the path to our goals. By keeping our focus on what we want, we positively influence our interactions, creating an environment conducive to success. Concentration as a force to overcome obstacles. Jordan also explores how concentration helps us overcome obstacles. When we're focused on a goal, the challenges and difficulties that may arise are seen as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than insurmountable barriers. The mental strength of concentration allows us to persevere in the face of adversity, keeping our energy directed toward problem solving. The author emphasizes that concentration gives us the mental clarity necessary to face obstacles with serenity. Instead of being consumed by fear or frustration, concentration allows us to see obstacles as natural parts of the process, giving us the determination to keep moving forward. The daily practice of concentration to achieve success. Jordan emphasizes that concentration is a skill that must be practiced every day. Like any other skill, concentration is strengthened with constant practice. The author encourages us to spend time each day practicing concentration on specific activities, whether through meditation, visualization, or focusing completely on a task. Over time, this daily practice not only improves our ability to concentrate, but also strengthens our mental resolve and our ability to achieve our goals. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter shows us that concentrated mental demand is not just a technique for achieving success, but an active force that shapes our reality. When we focus our minds on a clear desire, we begin to attract opportunities, inspire others, and take effective actions to realize our dreams. By training our mind to focus, we can transform our environment and achieve our goals with determination and clarity. Jordan leaves us with the powerful idea that concentration is more than just a mental skill. It is a tangible power that can change the course of our lives and bring our desires to reality. The constant practice of concentration is the key to unlocking the power of our mind and creating the life we want. Chapter 9. Overcoming Bad Habits with Concentration. In this chapter, William George Jordan explores how concentration can not only help us achieve positive goals, but also overcome bad habits that hinder our progress. Jordan affirms that habits, both positive and negative, have a significant impact on our daily lives, and that mental concentration is the key to transforming destructive habits into productive and healthy actions. Through mind training, we can direct our attention and energy toward constructive actions and free ourselves from mental and physical patterns that limit us. The influence of habits on our daily lives. Jordan begins the chapter by emphasizing that habits are powerful invisible forces that guide our daily lives. From morning to night, our habits affect our thoughts, actions, and ultimately our destiny. Habits are not simply customs. They are mental patterns and automatic behaviors that we have learned and repeated over time. The author explains that, like any other skill, habits can be trained and adjusted. If we have the ability to concentrate effectively, we can replace bad habits with positive actions that help us get closer to our goals and objectives. The key is to identify the negative forces that dominate us and learn to focus our minds on new behaviors that benefit us. Concentration as the first step to changing habits. According to Jordan, the first step to overcoming a bad habit is to recognize that all action begins in the mind. Bad habits are neither inevitable nor immutable. They are mental patterns that can be modified with discipline and concentration. The focused mind has the power to break the cycle of negative habits, since when we focus on a goal, our mind begins to organize itself according to that intention. The author calls for us to be aware of our daily thoughts and actions. The concentrated mind is the one that has control, not only over what we think, but also over how we behave. If we dedicate our energy to replacing negative thoughts with more positive ones, we can transform our behavior and change our habits permanently. How bad habits affect our lives. Jordan explains that bad habits are more than just repetitive behaviors. They are mental patterns that affect our perception of ourselves and others. Negative habits such as procrastination, pessimism, or chronic stress not only affect our productivity, but also our mental and emotional health. These habits create an invisible barrier between us and our goals, and although we are not always aware of them, their influence is profound. By freeing ourselves from these habits, we begin to free our minds from the limitations we have imposed on ourselves. By breaking the cycle of negativity, we can make room for new positive beliefs and constructive actions that propel us forward. The practice of concentration to replace bad habits. One of the key ideas of this chapter is that concentration is the remedy to replace bad habits. The focused mind has the power to direct our attention toward more positive and productive thoughts and behaviors. Jordan explains that instead of simply trying to eliminate bad habits, we should focus on creating new positive habits. By doing so, bad habits begin to fade naturally, since our mind is occupied with something much more constructive. The author suggests that, to replace a bad habit, we start with small goals or daily actions that require concentration and effort. By doing this, we are training our mind to focus on the positive, which gradually causes bad habits to lose their power over us. Constant repetition of these new habits, combined with willpower and concentration, ensures that the new behaviors become part of our daily lives. The strength of the concentrated mind to overcome procrastination. One of the most common bad habits Jordan mentions is procrastination. This habit, although it often seems harmless, can have disastrous consequences on our productivity and personal success. Procrastination is the tendency to postpone important things in favor of less urgent but more pleasant activities. Jordan points out that procrastination is fueled by distraction, and concentration is the key to overcoming it. When we are focused on a task, procrastination loses its power as our mind focuses completely on the work we need to do. By training our minds to focus on what really matters, we eliminate the distractions that fuel procrastination and move our goals forward with determination and efficiency. The power of concentration in building healthy habits. In the chapter, Jordan also highlights how concentration can be used to build healthy habits that strengthen both body and mind. Habits like exercising regularly, eating healthily, and maintaining a positive attitude are critical to overall well-being, but they're often difficult to establish, maintained due to lack of concentration and discipline. By applying focus to these areas of our lives, we can make healthy habits become a natural part of our daily routine. Jordan encourages us to focus on the long-term benefits of these habits and to keep our attention on the process, not just the outcome. By strengthening our concentration, we can overcome the lack of motivation and turn good practices into solid habits that accompany us throughout life. The importance of self-control and discipline. The author concludes this chapter with a reflection on self-control and discipline. Concentration requires a disciplined mind, capable of staying focused even when temptations or difficulties arise. Self-control is essential to replace bad habits and to sustain the positive habits we are creating. Jordan emphasizes that discipline is a skill that is cultivated through the constant practice of concentration. Every time we make a conscious decision to focus on what really matters, we are training our mind to stay strong in the face of temptations and obstacles. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter reminds us that bad habits are not a fixed destiny, but rather patterns that we can change through focus and discipline. By directing our minds toward positive habits, we can replace destructive behaviors with constructive actions that help us achieve our goals. Concentration is the key to transforming our habits and, in doing so, transforming our lives in a more positive and productive direction. Chapter 10. Business Results Through Concentration. In this chapter, William George Jordan explores how concentration is one of the most important factors in achieving successful results in business. Jordan maintains that concentration is key to directing energies, making strategic decisions, and maximizing productivity in business. Instead of addressing the multiple demands that an entrepreneur faces with distraction or disorganization, concentration allows one to focus efforts and make wiser, more effective decisions, which ultimately translates into tangible success in business. Concentration as a driver of business success. The author begins by stating that, like any other skill, concentration is what allows an entrepreneur to achieve significant results in their business. Without it, mental dispersion and lack of focus can seriously impact the ability to make clear decisions and maintain a consistent direction for the business. Concentration allows you to channel energy towards activities that provide real value, avoiding distractions that consume time and resources without generating results. Jordan explains that great entrepreneurs are not necessarily those who are busy all the time, but rather those who keep their attention on what really matters. Concentration is the fundamental tool that allows leaders to define and achieve their goals, while those who lack it tend to get lost in the minor details that don't contribute to business growth. Focus on strategic decision-making. One of the key aspects of this chapter is how concentration allows for better decision-making. In business, every decision, from marketing strategy to team management to resource allocation, has a huge impact on the future of a company. When entrepreneurs don't focus, decisions can be made impulsively, often leading to suboptimal outcomes. Jordan argues that when a business leader is deeply focused on a decision, they have the clarity and insight to evaluate all aspects and consider the long-term consequences. This ability to keep the focus on the essentials allows for more strategic decision-making, which not only solves immediate problems, but also positions a company for sustainable growth. Concentration to maintain long-term vision. Another important concept that Jordan introduces is that concentration is also critical to maintaining long-term vision. In business, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day urgencies and lose sight of the end goal. Constant interruptions and daily tasks can make us lose the big picture, but concentration helps us focus on what really matters for the future of the business. The author explains that entrepreneurs who cultivate concentration are able to resist the pressure of the present and work with a clear purpose, always aligning their decisions and strategies with long-term objectives. This strategic vision is essential to sustain business success and ensure that the company grows in a stable and sustainable manner. Concentration as a key to productivity. Jordan also emphasizes that business productivity is directly related to concentration. In a work environment full of distractions and multitasking, it's easy to lose sight of priorities. Concentration allows entrepreneurs to maximize their productivity by focusing their time and resources on the tasks that generate the most value. The author explains that people who are highly focused are much better able to complete tasks quickly, make sound decisions, and move forward on key projects without getting sidetracked. Lack of concentration, on the other hand, disperses efforts and can result in incomplete projects, poor decisions, or lack of progress. Focus on effective delegation. In business, one of the biggest challenges for leaders is learning how to delegate tasks effectively. Jordan highlights that when leaders are focused, they can quickly identify areas where they need to be directly involved and which ones they can delegate to their teams. By delegating clearly, entrepreneurs can free up their time to focus on the most important strategic decisions, while business owners can. Team members have the space to take responsibility for their own projects. Concentration allows leaders to identify their team's strengths and assign tasks according to individual skills, leading to greater efficiency and collaboration. By having a clear vision of what needs to be done, leaders can delegate with confidence, knowing that each task will be performed by the most qualified person. The impact of concentration on company culture. In addition, the author reflects on how concentration influences organizational culture. A company where leaders are highly focused on their goals and values can pass that concentration on to their team. This not only improves efficiency and performance, but also strengthens cohesion and motivation within the team. A focus on the company's values and mission allows all members to work toward a common goal. Clarity of purpose reduces confusion, aligns efforts, and generates a sense of purpose that drives everyone to do their best. When leaders practice focus and maintain it as a core value, they will inspire others to stay focused and work together to achieve business goals. Concentration as a motivating force. The author emphasizes that concentration has the power to motivate not only leaders, but also employees and collaborators. A company where leaders are focused and mission-focused generates a positive energy that inspires others to join the effort. Focus is contagious. When one or more team members are completely focused on success, collective energy drives everyone involved towards achieving common goals. The importance of concentration in business innovation. Jordan also underlines how concentration is essential for innovation. Great business innovators are those who can focus on a specific problem and seek creative solutions without being distracted by quick or superficial solutions. Concentration allows entrepreneurs to identify new opportunities and develop ideas that transform the industry. Instead of copying existing solutions, concentration leads leaders to approach problems with an open and focused mind, which breeds innovation. When minds are focused on creating new solutions, innovation can flourish organically. Chapter conclusion. This chapter teaches us that concentration is essential to business success. It's not just about being able to make quick decisions or manage tasks, but about maintaining a clear focus on what really matters. With focus, we can maximize our productivity, innovate continuously, and lead with vision and purpose. In addition, concentration improves delegation, creates a strong organizational culture, and strengthens the motivation of the entire team. In a business world full of distractions and external pressures, focus becomes the force that sustains success. Leaders and companies that master concentration have the power to overcome obstacles and achieve their goals clearly, efficiently, and effectively. Concentration is the engine behind progress and innovation, and the key to achieving exceptional results in business. Chapter 11. Focusing on courage. In this chapter, William George Jordan explores how concentration is directly related to courage. The author points out that courage is not simply the absence of fear, but the ability to act decisively despite the fears and obstacles that may arise. Focus in times of adversity is what allows us to stay calm, make wise decisions, and move forward with determination. Through concentration, we can transform fear into positive action and overcome any challenges that come our way. Courage as a cultivated quality. Jordan begins this chapter by stressing that courage is not an innate quality that some have and others don't. Courage, according to the author, is a skill that can be cultivated and strengthened over time. Concentration is the first step in this process, as it allows us to face our emotions, analyze situations clearly, and make courageous decisions. The author argues that while courage may seem second nature in extreme situations, it is built slowly through mental discipline. By focusing on the task ahead and visualizing the positive outcome, we develop the confidence to act without letting fear or anxiety paralyze us. Concentration as the key to facing fear. Jordan emphasizes that fear is a natural emotion that we all experience in various circumstances, especially when faced with the unknown or difficult challenges. However, fear can be paralyzing if not handled correctly. This is where concentration plays an essential role. Concentration allows us to take control over our thoughts and replace fearful ideas with positive and rational thoughts. Instead of getting carried away by anxiety, a focused mind can focus on the solution rather than the problem, which helps us act courageously. By focusing on what really matters, our mind becomes firmer, and we can face adversity with more confidence and determination. Courage as an act of faith. Another key point Jordan stresses is that courage often requires faith in oneself and the future. When faced with challenges, it is easy to fall into doubt and pessimism, especially when we don't have a clear vision of what is to come. However, courage arises when we maintain our focus on the belief that we are capable of overcoming difficulties. The author explains that courage does not mean acting without fear, but acting despite fear. Concentration helps us stay focused on our goals and believe in our abilities, even when fears tell us otherwise. Self-belief is built through the constant practice of concentration, since every time we face our fears with determination, we strengthen our ability to act with courage. The courage to make difficult decisions. Concentration not only allows us to overcome fear, but also gives us the courage to make difficult decisions. In business, relationships, and life in general, difficult decisions are inevitable. These decisions often require us to face uncertainties or make short-term sacrifices for long-term benefits. Jordan invites us to reflect on how concentration gives us the mental clarity necessary to make difficult decisions with confidence. By focusing on long-term results and maintaining a clear vision of our goals, we can make bold decisions that move us closer to what we really want, without being overwhelmed by fear or doubt. The courage to act in the face of adversity. Jordan also talks about the courage to act in times of adversity. In difficult times, when challenges seem insurmountable or when resources are limited, it is easy to hesitate or postpone decisions. However, concentration allows us to focus on the next step, rather than being paralyzed by what seems like an overwhelming situation. Courage arises when we act despite the circumstances. Concentration gives us the necessary momentum to take that first step, which is often the most difficult, but also the most crucial. By staying focused, we are able to overcome the paralysis of fear and move forward with our actions, no matter how difficult they may seem. Courage as a force to transform lives. The author points out that ultimately, courage is not only useful in overcoming momentary obstacles, but has the power to transform our lives. Courage becomes an internal force that drives us to take calculated risks, to leave our comfort zone, and to embark on new paths that lead us to achieve success. Without courage, people remain trapped in the comfort of the known, avoiding opportunities to grow and develop. Concentration on desires and personal vision becomes the basis for building lasting courage. The constant practice of concentration strengthens our capacity for action, which allows us to overcome fears and adversities with a clear and focused mind. The relationship between courage and persistence. One of the most powerful ideas in this chapter is the relationship between courage and persistence. Courage is not only the ability to face a challenge in a timely manner, but the ability to persist in the face of difficulties with a firm focus. By focusing on what's important and taking action despite fears, we develop unwavering persistence that leads to success. Jordan concludes that courage is fueled by concentration. The more focused our mind is on our goals and our capabilities, the stronger our courage will be to persist and overcome the difficulties we encounter along the way. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter teaches us that courage is a skill that can be strengthened through concentration. Concentration not only helps overcome fear and doubt, but also allows you to make brave decisions, act with determination, and persevere in the face of adversity. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. With a concentrated mind and focused on our goals, we can transform our lives, overcome any obstacle, and achieve success. Chapter 12. Focus on prosperity. In this chapter, William George Jordan explores how focusing on financial well-being and prosperity is key to achieving financial success. The author reminds us that prosperity is not just about money, but a mindset that affects all aspects of our lives, from our actions and decisions to our relationships and attitudes. Through concentration, we can direct our mental energy toward creating wealth and abundance, rather than falling into the trap of scarcity and limitation. The abundance mentality. Jordan begins this chapter by emphasizing that prosperity begins in the mind. Many people feel trapped in scarcity because they have internalized limiting beliefs about money and success. However, those who develop an abundance mindset and focus on value creation are the ones who achieve true prosperity. The author explains that, to achieve prosperity, it is first necessary to change our way of thinking about money. Instead of viewing money as something scarce or hard to come by, we should view prosperity as an infinite opportunity that can be created through focused action and financial discipline. Concentration allows us to focus our energies on creating real value, which in turn translates into material wealth and well-being. Concentration on value creation. One of the keys to achieving prosperity, according to Jordan, is value creation. The author stresses that money is not the end goal, but rather the result of creating value for others. People who focus on how to improve the lives of others and provide solutions to common problems are the ones who eventually achieve prosperity. By focusing on doing something valuable, such as solving a problem or meeting a need, prosperity naturally follows. Jordan explains that the focus on creating value allows us to have a positive impact on the world, leading us to receive fair compensation for our efforts. Money is simply an external manifestation of that value creation. The importance of gratitude and focus on what we have. The author also stresses that gratitude is a fundamental component of prosperity. When we are focused on what we don't have, our energies are dispersed into scarcity. Instead, when we focus on what we already possess and are grateful for our blessings, we shift our mental frequency to attract more abundance into our lives. Jordan explains that gratitude transforms our mindset, allowing us to see the world from a perspective of abundance. By focusing on what we have already accomplished, we strengthen our confidence that more good things are to come. A focus on gratitude attracts more opportunities and, as a result, more prosperity. A focus on self-reliance. Jordan also highlights the importance of self-reliance on the path to prosperity. For many people, dependence on external sources such as a job or a stable financial situation is a limitation. However, those who concentrate their efforts on creating their own sources of income and strengthening their economic independence are the ones who truly achieve prosperity. The author encourages us to take control of our finances, learn new skills, and invest in our own growth. Self-sufficiency is the first step to creating sustained prosperity, as it allows us to make wise financial decisions and not depend on external factors for our economic stability. A focus on self-reliance helps us create a solid foundation for building wealth independently. The relationship between hard work and prosperity. One aspect Jordan addresses in this chapter is that prosperity is not an easy gift, but the result of hard work and consistent dedication. Through concentration, we can stay focused on our daily tasks and constant work, which leads to sustainable and long-lasting results. The author explains that prosperity does not come to those who wait, but to those who are willing to work with dedication. Jordan reminds us that focused work has a much greater impact than scattered work. By focusing on a specific goal, our actions become more effective and progress toward prosperity becomes faster. Concentration allows work to be done with purpose and clarity, leading us to achieve notable results. Concentration on the mind as a source of wealth. Jordan also tells us about how the mind is the source of all wealth. The ideas and knowledge we develop through concentration can be converted into material wealth. The author urges us to invest in our education and cultivate an entrepreneurial mindset, as knowledge is the most valuable resource to create prosperity. Concentration allows us to harness our intellectual abilities, turn our ideas into profitable actions, and use our talents to create value in the world. Those who focus on constant learning and self-improvement are the ones who build lasting wealth. Concentration on efficient financial management. A crucial aspect that Jordan highlights is how concentration also plays a vital role in financial management. The author urges us to make conscious decisions about how to spend, save, and invest our money. Financial discipline is one of the keys to building prosperity, as it allows us to maximize our resources and avoid temptations that divert us from our goals. Focus helps us make wise financial decisions and avoid impulsive spending, resulting in a stable and sustainable income stream. With a focused mind, we can plan our financial future, ensuring that every action we take brings us closer to prosperity. The importance of patience and persistence. Jordan also highlights that patience and persistence are essential to achieving lasting prosperity. While concentration can help us start on the path to wealth, patience is required to see the fruits of our actions. Prosperity does not come overnight. It is the result of continuous efforts and wise decisions made over time. The author encourages us to persevere and not to become discouraged when the rewards are not immediate. Concentration helps us stay focused on the end goal, even when results are slow, and keep working toward creating a prosperous and abundant life. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter teaches us that prosperity is not a destination, but a continuous journey that requires focus, constant action, and mental discipline. Through concentration, we can replace limiting beliefs, create value in the world, strengthen our financial self-sufficiency, and persistently work toward our goals. Jordan concludes that concentration is the catalyst for creating a prosperous life. It encourages us to maintain a clear focus on our financial goals, to apply sound management principles, and to believe in our ability to generate abundance. Prosperity is within reach for those who work with determination and focus on their goals. Chapter 13. Dedication to Concentration. In this chapter, William George Jordan emphasizes the importance of dedication to focus as a fundamental principle for achieving success in any area of life. The author reminds us that, like any skill, concentration requires constant practice, discipline, and commitment to develop. Dedication to focus is, according to Jordan, what transforms a simple skill into a powerful force that can transform our lives. Concentration as a cultivated habit. Jordan begins the chapter by highlighting that concentration is not something we are born with, but a skill that is cultivated with practice. In the same way that the body is strengthened through physical exercise, the mind can also be trained to concentrate more effectively. The author explains that mental training is a gradual process and that it requires dedication and patience. Concentration is not a natural talent, but it is a habit that is built over time. People who achieve great things in life are those who have learned to focus their mental energy on a single goal and dedicate their effort towards it, without getting distracted. The author compares this process to physical training. The more we exercise our mental muscles, the easier it is to maintain focus on any task. Discipline as the basis of concentration. The chapter also stresses that discipline is essential to developing concentration. Mental discipline is the ability to direct our attention towards a specific goal and maintain it for as long as necessary, without falling into distractions or temptations. Jordan mentions that a lack of discipline is one of the main reasons why many people fail to achieve their goals. The mind, if not trained, tends to wander and lose focus as soon as the slightest distraction arises. Concentration requires constant training to be sustained over time. This is not something that can be achieved instantaneously, but it is a daily practice that requires dedication and perseverance. The importance of patience and perseverance in concentration. Jordan also emphasizes the need for patience and perseverance. Effective concentration is not reached from one day to the next. It is a skill that develops little by little. In many cases, it can take time to see immediate results, but persistence in daily practice pays off in the long run. The author warns that, at first, our mind may be very prone to wandering, but with continued practice, the ability to concentrate will strengthen. The key is not to give up in the face of initial difficulties and to continue working on training the mind to concentrate more effectively. Concentration on the little things. Another key point in this chapter is that concentration must also apply to the little things. Jordan argues that people often think that concentration is only important for big tasks or projects, but the reality is that every daily action requires concentration. From reading a book to completing a task at work, everything requires focus to be done successfully. The author points out that if we learn to focus on the smallest actions in daily life, this skill will be strengthened, and we will be able to apply concentration on big goals more easily. Every moment of concentration is an opportunity to exercise our mind and take it to its maximum potential. The relationship between concentration and personal success. Throughout the chapter, Jordan emphasizes that concentration is directly responsible for success in any area of life. Without a focused mind, people cannot achieve great things or develop their abilities. Concentration is the key to making the most of our capabilities and achieving our most ambitious goals. The author mentions that concentration is not only a tool to achieve external results, but also helps us improve internally. People who focus on their goals develop a stronger mindset and feel more capable of handling difficulties and overcoming obstacles. Concentration gives us a solid foundation to grow and prosper in any area of life, from the personal to the professional. Concentration as a path to inner peace. In this chapter, Jordan also talks about how concentration contributes to inner peace. As we learn to focus, we also learn to control our thoughts and emotions. This gives us the ability to reduce anxiety and worry as we are focused on the present rather than being swept away by negative thoughts. Concentration allows us to remain calm in the midst of difficult situations and gives us the mental clarity necessary to make wise decisions. By training our mind to focus on what is important, we are also developing greater serenity and emotional control, allowing us to live a more balanced and harmonious life. Concentration and constant progress. Jordan concludes this chapter by reminding us that concentration is the beginning of progress. Every time we set our mind on something and keep it focused, we are taking one step closer to our goals. The concentration eliminates the procrastination and distractions, and allows us to move towards what we really want to achieve. The author emphasizes that constant progress does not happen miraculously, but is the result of daily dedication to our goals. By constantly focusing on what we want to achieve, our actions become more effective and our path to success more direct. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter teaches us that dedication to concentration is essential to achieving success in any area of life. Concentration, when cultivated consistently, becomes a powerful tool that not only improves our productivity, but also strengthens our mindset, develops our character, and allows us to achieve our goals effectively. With patience, discipline, and daily practice, we can make concentration an integral part of our lives, transforming not only our results, but also our way of living. Chapter 14. The Science of Concentrating with Practical Exercises. In this chapter, William George Jordan delves into the importance of applying practical exercises to develop and strengthen our ability to concentrate. While previous chapters have discussed the theory of concentration, here is a guide to putting that theory into practice, providing specific tools and techniques that can train the mind to maintain focus and increase efficiency in all areas of life. Concentration as a skill that is trained. Jordan begins by highlighting that, although concentration may seem natural to some people, it is actually a skill that can be trained. Just like the muscles of the body, the mind also needs exercise to develop. Concentration exercises, therefore, not only help to improve our ability to focus, but also allow us to overcome the mental barriers that prevent us from achieving our goals. The author emphasizes that while concentration is essential for success in any field, many of us struggle with distractions that prevent us from realizing our full potential. These practical exercises aim to strengthen our attention and limit external and internal interference, helping us maintain focus and achieve our goals more efficiently. Exercise 1. The practice of mental silence. One of the first exercises proposed by Jordan is the practice of mental silence. This exercise consists of training our mind to stop scattered thoughts and create a space of mental stillness. To achieve this, Jordan recommends spending a few minutes a day sitting in a quiet place and, instead of allowing your mind to wander, focusing completely on a single thought or idea. The goal is to learn to hold your attention on a single image or idea without your mind wandering to other thoughts. If the mind begins to wander, gently return to the object of concentration. This exercise strengthens the ability to maintain focus and increases mental clarity as it forces the mind to remain silent and calm. Jordan also recommends that this exercise be done during quiet times of the day, preferably in the morning, when the mind is freshest. As practiced regularly, mental silence helps our ability to concentrate significantly increase. Exercise 2. Focus on a single task. Another key exercise is concentration on a single task. In modern life, multitasking has become a common habit, but Jordan argues that doing too many things at once is counterproductive to concentration. Instead of trying to perform several tasks simultaneously, the author proposes practicing concentrating on a single activity for a certain period of time. The exercise consists of choosing a task and devoting exclusive attention to it, without interruptions, for at least 15 to 20 minutes. During this time, you should not look at your phone, check emails, or do anything else. The goal is to learn to fully immerse yourself in the task, focusing only on the steps necessary to complete it efficiently. This exercise helps increase productivity and reduces mental dispersion, allowing the mind to fully focus on what it is doing. Over time, this improves the quality of our work and allows us to accomplish more in less time. Exercise 3. Focused visualization. Visualization is another important exercise to strengthen concentration. This exercise involves visualizing a specific goal in your mind and focusing deeply on the details of that vision. For example, if the goal is to be successful on a project, the person should close their eyes and visualize themselves working successfully on that project, focusing on all the details, the actions, the feelings of satisfaction, the environment in which the work is done, work, etc. Jordan suggests that this exercise be done regularly, preferably before bed or in the morning, as the mind is more receptive to concentration at these times. Concentrated visualization not only improves the ability to concentrate, but also reinforces self-belief and increases motivation to achieve the goal. Exercise 4. Controlled breathing to calm the mind. A key exercise Jordan suggests is controlled breathing, a technique that helps calm the mind and regain focus. Controlled breathing is based on breathing slowly and deeply, focusing on each inhalation and exhalation. This process not only reduces stress, but also helps restore mental clarity. To perform this exercise, Jordan recommends sitting in a comfortable position, closing your eyes and concentrating completely on your breathing. When inhaling, count to 4. When exhaling, count to 6. During the exercise, the mind should focus only on the act of breathing, putting aside any thoughts that arise. This exercise is especially helpful when the mind feels overloaded or when you need to regain focus in the middle of a task. Exercise 5. Meditation to train concentration. The author also introduces meditation as an effective exercise to develop concentration. Meditation, although often associated with relaxation, is also a powerful tool for training the mind. In this exercise, it is recommended to sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, and focus on a single thought or sound. For example, the repetition of a word or mantra. Meditation teaches how to discipline the mind, helping practitioners reduce mental noise and increase their ability to concentrate. Jordan highlights that meditation, practiced regularly, not only improves concentration, but also promotes inner peace and reduces anxiety. The relationship between concentration and self-discipline. Jordan also explores how concentration exercises reinforce our self-discipline. Through the consistent practice of concentration, we learn to control our thoughts and direct our mental energy toward what really matters. Over time, this practice increases our ability to persevere in the face of challenges and to maintain focus on long-term goals, even when circumstances invite us to divert our attention. Chapter conclusion. This chapter reinforces the idea that concentration is a practical skill that can be developed and strengthened through specific exercises. The exercises proposed by Jordan are powerful tools to improve our ability to focus and productivity. By training our mind to concentrate on a single task, practicing controlled breathing, or performing focused visualizations, we can achieve greater levels of success in all areas of our lives. Concentration is not just an innate talent, but a skill that is cultivated and honed through daily practice. Chapter 15. Concentration for Better Memory. In this chapter, William George Jordan explores the relationship between concentration and memory, emphasizing that our ability to recall information and apply what we learn is deeply influenced by the mental focus we maintain. Through concentration, we can significantly improve our memory and our ability to retain important information. This chapter offers guidance on how to train concentration to remember information, our mind to improve retention of what we learn and access those memories when we need them. Memory and concentration. A vital connection. Jordan begins by explaining that memory is not an isolated faculty, but rather depends on the mental attention we dedicate to what we are trying to learn or remember. When we are not focused, information is scattered, and it is much more difficult to retain it effectively. The author maintains that memory is a direct reflection of concentration. The more focused our mind is on a specific task or information, the more likely we will be able to remember it clearly and accurately later. People often feel like they have a poor memory, but according to Jordan, this is more a reflection of lack of concentration than memory capacity itself. If we manage to channel our mental energy and focus on the relevant details, memory is naturally strengthened, and we remember more than we think. The key to retention. Focusing attention on the present. Jordan emphasizes that the key to better remembering is to focus completely on the present. Often, we find ourselves thinking about the past or worrying about the future, which distracts our attention from what is happening in the here and now. This scattered focus causes our minds to not retain information correctly. The author suggests that to improve our memory, we must train our mind to stay in the present. Whether reading, listening to a conversation, or learning something new, mindfulness is crucial to remembering what we are experiencing in that moment. By being fully present in each activity, we improve the quality of what we retain and retrieve information when we need it. Repetition and concentration to strengthen memory. Another fundamental approach that Jordan presents is the use of repetition combined with concentration. Repetition, when done mindfully, strengthens long-term memory. Repeating a task or information not only helps to reaffirm it in our mind, but by doing it in a concentrated way, we strengthen the neural connections necessary to store the information more efficiently. Jordan suggests practicing exercises that involve repeating concepts, ideas, or even numbers while maintaining full focus on that data. Daily repetition, if accompanied by concentration, greatly increases the ability to remember. This may include concentrated reading of a book, reviewing important notes, or practicing memorization techniques while keeping a mind focused on details. Visualization. Concentration at the service of memory. Jordan also introduces visualization as a powerful tool for improving memory. Visualization refers to creating vivid mental images of the information we want to remember. Associating abstract concepts with visual images can make them much easier to remember. For example, if you are trying to remember a list of items or a series of steps, Jordan recommends visualizing each item on the list as if it were a physical, palpable object. The more vivid the mental images, and the more focused your mind is on those images, the easier it will be to retrieve the information when you need it. Visualization turns the abstract into the concrete, which improves memory retention. Memory techniques through association. The author also mentions that one of the most effective memorization techniques is association. This technique is based on associating new information with something you already know, which creates a mental bridge between the two concepts. Jordan recommends that, in order to remember complex data or facts, you try to relate them to something familiar that you can clearly visualize. For example, if you're trying to remember the name of a person you just met, you can associate their name with an image or a characteristic feature that allows you to easily remember them. These types of mental associations facilitate memorization and make the data easier to retrieve later. The importance of rest and relaxation in memory. Jordan also mentions that even though concentration is crucial for memory, it is equally important to give the mind time to rest. Adequate rest is essential to allow information to be consolidated into long-term memory. Mental overload, stress, and lack of sleep can weaken our ability to remember. The author recommends taking regular breaks between sessions of study or concentrated work, as these breaks allow the brain to process information and store it more effectively. Additionally, adequate sleep is critical for consolidating memories, so it is important to ensure that the mind has time to rest and recharge. Focusing on emotional memory and personal memories, Jordan also touches on an interesting point about how emotional memory plays a major role in what we remember. Experiences that touch us emotionally are easier to remember because they are strongly associated with intense emotions. Focusing on the emotional aspects of a memory can strengthen it and make it more vivid. The author suggests that in order to remember important details, we should try to associate the information with emotions and feelings that make it more meaningful. By doing this, we improve not only our memory but also our ability to accurately recall important events, as emotions help solidify those memories in our minds. Chapter conclusion. This chapter teaches us that concentration is key to improving memory. By focusing fully on the task at hand, our ability to remember increases significantly. Repetition, visualization, association, and regular pauses are powerful tools to strengthen our memory, while concentration helps focus our attention on what is relevant. Jordan concludes that a mind trained in concentration is much better able to retain and remember information, allowing us to make the most of our mental capabilities. With constant practice of concentration and memory, we can improve our cognitive skills and achieve success in all areas of our life. This chapter reinforces the idea that memory is not something static, but rather a skill that can be strengthened with the practice of concentration. By training our minds to focus fully on what we learn, we improve our ability to remember and apply what we know, helping us be more effective and productive in daily life. Chapter 16. Fulfilling Your Desires Through Concentration. In this chapter, William George Jordan addresses how concentration is the essential tool to fulfill our desires and achieve our deepest goals. The author explains that all human beings have desires and aspirations, but the difference between success and failure lies in the ability to concentrate and apply that concentration systematically and persistently. Concentration, according to Jordan, is the vehicle that allows us to transform our desires into tangible realities. The power of the mind focused on desire. Jordan begins this chapter by highlighting that the human mind is incredibly powerful, but a lack of concentration is what often prevents us from fulfilling our desires. Many people have big dreams and goals, but they lack the ability to focus on them consistently. Throughout this chapter, the author emphasizes that focusing completely on a goal or desire is the first step to achieving it. Concentration allows us to channel all our mental energy towards the fulfillment of that desire. If we manage to keep our mind completely focused on what we want to achieve, we begin to eliminate distractions and direct all our efforts towards achieving that goal. Concentration not only makes our actions more effective, but also strengthens our determination and keeps us focused even when difficulties arise. Clarity of purpose. One of the key points Jordan makes is that for concentration to be effective, we need to have a clear idea of what we want. The lack of clarity in our desires can generate mental confusion and make our concentration dispersed. On the other hand, when we have a clear purpose, our mind aligns with that objective, and our actions are precisely directed towards its fulfillment. The author encourages readers to clearly define their desires, make a list of what they really want to achieve, and visualize those goals as already achieved realities. Clarity of purpose not only helps one focus, but also increases motivation and confidence in the ability to achieve it. When we have a defined vision, the process of focusing becomes much easier and more natural. Persistence and patience. In focus, Jordan also addresses the importance of persistence and patience when working toward a desire. The author reminds us that focus is not something that can be applied for a short period and expect immediate results. Effective focus requires time and consistent effort. Big desires are not fulfilled immediately. They require persistent work and a focused mindset that stays strong even when results are not quick. Patience is crucial, as the path to fulfilling our desires can be full of obstacles and challenges. However, by staying focused on what we want to achieve, temporary failures do not discourage us, but rather serve as lessons that strengthen our resolve. Persistence becomes a key factor in making our desires come true. Focus as a drive for effective action. Another central theme of this chapter is action. Jordan explains that focus not only serves to keep the mind focused, but it also drives us to take action. Many people may dream about their desires, but lack the action necessary to make them a reality. Focus generates an internal energy that motivates us to act and take concrete steps toward our goals. The author highlights that when we focus, our actions become more effective. Each step we take is directed toward a specific goal, and our mind stays on track in the right direction. Without focus, our actions can become disorganized and unproductive. But when we're focused, our actions align with our desires, increasing our chances of success. The power of visualization to achieve our desires. Jordan also emphasizes the power of visualization as a technique to increase our focus and manifest our desires. Visualization is the process of mentally imagining that we have already achieved our goals, which creates a strong sense of certainty in the mind. This practice helps to consolidate our desire and strengthen our determination as we visualize what our future would be like after we have achieved success. The author suggests that this technique can be practiced on a regular basis, spending a few minutes each day imagining in detail what our life would be like if we fulfilled our desires. Constant visualization creates a mental strength that keeps the mind focused on the final result, eliminating doubts and strengthening faith in oneself. Concentration as a vehicle to attract opportunities. The chapter also explores how concentration has the power to attract opportunities into our lives. When we are deeply focused on our desires, our minds open to new possibilities that may have previously gone unnoticed. Jordan emphasizes that concentration not only organizes our own actions, but also acts as a magnet for external opportunities. By focusing on our goals, our mind becomes more alert and sensitive to signals from the environment that lead us toward those goals. Opportunities begin to appear more naturally and frequently, and our constant focus allows us to make the most of them. Overcoming doubts and obstacles. Finally, the author addresses how concentration helps us overcome the doubts and obstacles that inevitably appear on the path to fulfilling our desires. It's easy to feel discouraged when results don't come right away or when we encounter unforeseen challenges. However, concentration keeps our mind focused on what is important, which motivates us to move forward despite difficulties. Jordan reminds us that success is never a straight path, and that obstacles are simply part of the process. Concentration acts as an internal force that drives us to overcome obstacles, learn from them, and continue working towards the fulfillment of our desires. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter reinforces the idea that concentration is the powerful vehicle that allows us to fulfill our desires. By focusing our minds on a clear goal, taking decisive action, maintaining persistence, and using techniques such as visualization, we can transform our dreams into concrete realities. Jordan concludes that concentration not only helps us achieve our goals, but also builds our confidence and strengthens us mentally, allowing us to overcome any challenges that arise along the way. By fully dedicating ourselves to our desires with constant concentration, we achieve not only material success, but also peace of mind and personal satisfaction. Chapter 17. Developing Ideals Through Concentration. In this chapter, William George Jordan explores how concentration is not only useful for achieving tangible goals, but also for developing and living up to our highest ideals. The ability to focus on our deepest values and principles can help us transform our lives into an authentic expression of those ideals, leading to a more meaningful and fulfilling life. According to Jordan, mental focus is not only useful for external goals, but also acts as a force in shaping our character and personal vision. The importance of ideals in life. Jordan begins this chapter by explaining that ideals are the highest principles we aspire to in life. They can be moral, spiritual, professional, or personal ideals, but they are what we consider valuable and want to achieve in our daily behavior. Ideals are abstract goals that inspire us to improve ourselves and live in a higher way. The author encourages us to ask ourselves, what are the ideals that guide our lives? Are they ideals that we have actually consciously chosen, or are they external influences that we have adopted without thinking? Jordan maintains that without clear ideals, our lives become imprecise and our action dispersed, since we have no clear center on which to orient ourselves. Focus on ideals. For living with purpose, the first step to living according to our ideals is to focus on them. For an ideal to become a tangible reality in our lives, it must be clearly visualized and continually held in our minds. Jordan invites us to take time each day to reflect on our highest principles and think about how we can incorporate them more deeply into our daily actions. Constant focus on our ideals allows us to live up to them without the distractions of everyday life taking us away from our vision. The more we focus on our ideals, the more likely our actions and decisions are to align with them. Concentration helps us stay focused on what really matters, allowing us to live more coherently and authentically. The connection between concentration and character. Jordan also explores how our ideals and our ability to focus are deeply related to character. Character is built through repeated actions and consistent decisions, which, in turn, are based on our ideals and the willpower to live by them. When we focus on our highest values, we strengthen our character, as every action we take is guided by those principles. The author points out that character is not formed spontaneously. It is shaped through our daily choices, which are a direct result of our ability to focus on what is important. Strength of character is cultivated when we focus our minds on the fundamental principles that guide our lives and when we remain steadfast in our decisions, regardless of external circumstances. Concentrating on our ideals helps us make conscious decisions, which, in turn, strengthen our character. Concentration as a means to transform our ideals into action. A central theme of the chapter is how concentration allows our ideals to be transformed into concrete actions. Ideals, by themselves, are just abstract ideas. It is through mental concentration that we can turn them into something real and palpable in our daily lives. Jordan explains that action aligned with our ideals is the true measure of our progress in life. The author reminds us that our life is not defined only by our thoughts, but by what we do with those thoughts. By focusing on the implementation of our ideals, we ensure that our actions reflect what we value most. This requires us to make decisions that are in line with our principles, even when it is difficult or inconvenient. Persistence in concentration to achieve our ideals. One of the keys to living up to our ideals is persistence. Jordan points out that life will not always be easy, and that we will often face obstacles that will try to derail us from our ideals. However, persistent concentration is what allows us to overcome difficulties and continue moving towards the realization of our highest principles. The author emphasizes that persistence does not only mean working endlessly, but also working in a way that is aligned with our ideals. Persistence in concentration gives us the strength to stay focused and keep moving forward, even when external pressure or internal temptations invite us to divert our attention from what we really want to achieve. Concentration on ideals as a path to inner peace. Jordan also highlights that focusing on ideals not only helps us achieve material success, but also leads to deeper inner peace. When we live according to our ideals, we feel that our actions have purpose and that our lives have coherence. This alignment between what we believe and what we do creates a feeling of satisfaction and peace that does not depend on external factors, but on our internal connection with our values. The author explains that this inner peace is essential for happiness, since we are not fighting against ourselves or trying to please others at the expense of our own principles. Concentration on ideals allows us to maintain our inner peace, regardless of external circumstances. Creating a life of purpose. Jordan concludes the chapter by noting that living according to our ideals allows us to create a life of purpose. Ideals act as a guide for our decisions and actions and provide us with a deep sense of direction. Concentration allows us to focus our energy on what really matters, which leads to a richer and more satisfying life. The author encourages us to take time each day to reflect on our ideals, visualize them, and ensure that our daily actions are aligned with them. By doing this, we not only transform our personal lives, but we also add value to the world by living authentically and consistently with our deepest beliefs. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter teaches us that ideals are not just abstract goals, but powerful guides that, when focused, direct us toward a life of purpose and fulfillment. Focusing on our ideals allows us to transform them into action, build strong character, overcome obstacles, and create a life that reflects what we truly value. By focusing our minds on what truly matters, we can fulfill our deepest desires and live a life of purpose and peace. Chapter 18. Mind Control Through Creation. In this chapter, William George Jordan examines how mental focus not only helps us achieve our goals, but also plays a crucial role in shaping our lives and relationships. The author suggests that, by concentrating effectively, we have the ability to direct our mind towards creating our reality, using our thoughts, emotions, and actions in ways that contribute to transforming our life into the one we want to live. Jordan explores how mind control is a powerful tool that allows us to create the life we want to live, not just passively, but as an active process of conscious creation. The mind as a tool of creation. Jordan begins the chapter by stating that the mind is the most powerful tool we possess, as it has the potential to create both tangible and intangible realities. Every aspect of our lives, from our personal relationships to our professional goals, is a direct result of what we think. By controlling our mind and intentionally directing it, we can shape our thoughts and actions to create what we desire. The author emphasizes that, to control our lives and achieve what we want, we must be aware of the thoughts we allow to rule our minds. Many times, our lives are influenced by automatic thoughts, which can be negative or limiting, which prevent us from acting with the clarity and focus necessary to achieve our goals. Concentration allows us to identify and change these mental patterns to become the conscious creators of our lives. The mind directed towards conscious action. Jordan emphasizes that mental concentration is not simply an act of positive thinking or daydreaming, but a process of conscious action. Mental creation must be accompanied by tangible actions that are aligned with our thoughts. While it is important to visualize and conceive our goals in our minds, it is equally essential that we act with determination and focus towards them. The author recommends that, to direct our mind towards effective creation, each thought must be accompanied by an action that supports it. Whether in work, relationships, or personal well-being, focused thinking generates energy that motivates us to act, and, with action, we materialize our thoughts into concrete results. The power of active visualization. A fundamental concept that Jordan presents in this chapter is the power of active visualization. Visualization is not just an exercise in imagining goals, but in creating a clear representation of what we want to achieve and then acting on it. The author explains that to create real change in our lives, we must mentally see what the end result will look like and then work on concrete steps to make that vision a reality. Active visualization is the practice of visualizing the process of achieving a goal, not just the end result. For example, if you want to be successful in a professional career, you not only visualize the final success, but also the intermediate steps, the daily actions, the important decisions, and the skills necessary to get there. By keeping our mind focused on this process, we create a mental path that guides our actions and reinforces the belief in our ability to achieve it. Controlling emotions through concentration. Jordan also points out that a crucial aspect of mind control is the management of emotions. Emotions play a fundamental role in our mental life and can be both a source of power and a barrier. The author explains that when our emotions are out of control, our minds become scattered, making it difficult to concentrate and take effective action. Through concentration, we can train our mind to manage emotions effectively. This involves recognizing our emotions without allowing them to dominate us. By focusing on the here and now, we can channel our emotions so that they propel us toward our goals, rather than being dragged along by them. Jordan also points out that by focusing on positive thoughts and goals rather than fears or doubts, we can transform our negative emotions into positive energy that drives us to action. Mental focus helps create an emotional balance that is essential to maintaining clarity and productivity in everything we do. The role of focused thinking in the creation of reality. The chapter continues to delve into the idea that our thoughts are the seeds of our reality. The mind acts as a fertile field in which we plant ideas and desires, and those seeds grow and become concrete actions. By focusing on our positive thoughts, we can cultivate a mindset of success and prosperity, which translates into tangible results. The author compares the mental process to planting a garden. If we sow positive thoughts and constructive actions, we reap positive results. On the contrary, if we allow negative or limiting thoughts to grow, our reality will be affected by them. Mental control through concentration is the tool that allows us to direct our thoughts in the direction we want. Thought as a force of attraction. Jordan also explores how our focused thoughts have the power to attract opportunities into our lives. According to the author, mental concentration acts as a magnet for what we think. If we focus on success, abundance, and prosperity, we begin to attract those same energies to us, allowing us to manifest our goals in real life. The power of concentration is such that our mind becomes a magnet, attracting everything necessary to fulfill our desires. This does not mean simply thinking about something and waiting for it to happen, but concentration creates a mental strength that drives us to take the right actions and take advantage of the opportunities that arise. The importance of faith and trust in the process. In closing, Jordan emphasizes that concentration must not only apply to actions, but also to faith in the process. The author maintains that when we are focused on our goals and act with confidence, the mind aligns with the universe to bring results. Faith that what we are creating is achievable is essential to maintaining focus and motivation. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter teaches us that mental concentration is a powerful tool to control our lives and create the reality we desire. Through focused action, active visualization, and control of our emotions, we can transform our thoughts into tangible results. Concentration is the key to shaping our relationships, careers, and goals, as it allows us to focus our mental energy on what we really want to achieve. Jordan concludes that by focusing on conscious creation, we not only create what we desire, but we also develop the mental control necessary to stay steadfast on our path to success and prosperity. The mind, when directed with intention, has the power to transform our lives. Chapter 19. Developing Concentrated Will. In this chapter, William George Jordan delves into how will plays a crucial role in developing concentration and how, through concentrated will, we can achieve great achievements and overcome obstacles. The author explains that will is the inner force that allows us to stay focused on our goals despite distractions, temptations, or difficulties. Concentrated will is what gives us the determination and discipline necessary to move forward on the path to success. The will as a vital force of concentration. Jordan begins this chapter by highlighting that will is the force that shapes our concentration. Will, according to the author, is the internal engine that drives us to act and sustain concentration over time. If the will is weak, our ability to concentrate will also be affected, since we will not have the internal energy necessary to maintain focus. The author emphasizes that concentration and will are closely connected, and that a strong will translates into a concentrated mind. If we want to achieve great goals, we must learn to develop a solid will, which allows us to persist and act with determination in the face of any challenge. The discipline of concentrated will. Jordan also points out that concentrated will requires mental discipline. Discipline is the ability to control our mind and direct it toward a specific goal without being derailed by external distractions or internal temptations. The author emphasizes that willpower is what allows us to move forward even when difficulties demotivate us or when results are slow to arrive. Through constant practice, we can train our will to increase our ability to concentrate. The author compares training the will to training a muscle. The more we exercise our will, the stronger it becomes. Over time, our concentration and determination become more and more effective. The power of clear intention. One of the keys that Jordan introduces is that clear intention is an essential component of a concentrated will. For the will to be effective, we must have a clear intention of what we want to achieve. If the intention is not clearly defined, our will disperses and loses its strength. Clarity of purpose becomes the basis of all successful action. The author recommends that before undertaking any task, we take a few moments to clearly define our objectives and reflect on the purpose of our actions. By doing so, our will is strengthened and concentration becomes a more powerful force for success. The importance of perseverance in concentrated will. Jordan also emphasizes that for focused will to have results, it must be accompanied by perseverance. The author maintains that success does not come immediately. It takes time and constant effort. Perseverance is the key to remaining focused on our goals despite temporary difficulties or failures. Concentrated will means not giving up when things don't go as planned. It is the ability to maintain focus on our long-term goals, even when circumstances challenge us. The author reminds us that great achievements are not achieved. The will as a vital force of concentration. Jordan begins this chapter by highlighting that will is the force that shapes our concentration. Will, according to the author, is the internal engine that drives us to act and sustain concentration over time. If the will is weak, our ability to concentrate will also be affected, since we will not have the internal energy necessary to maintain focus. The author emphasizes that concentration and will are closely connected, and that a strong will translates into a concentrated mind. If we want to achieve great goals, we must learn to develop a solid will, which allows us to persist and act with determination in the face of any challenge. The discipline of concentrated will. Jordan also points out that concentrated will requires mental discipline. Discipline is the ability to control our mind and direct it toward a specific goal without being derailed by external distractions or internal temptations. The author emphasizes that willpower is what allows us to move forward even when difficulties demotivate us or when results are slow to arrive. Through constant practice, we can train our will to increase our ability to concentrate. The author compares training the will to training a muscle. The more we exercise our will, the stronger it becomes. Over time, our concentration and determination become more and more effective. The power of clear intention. One of the keys that Jordan introduces is that clear intention is an essential component of a concentrated will. For the will to be effective, we must have a clear intention of what we want to achieve. If the intention is not clearly defined, our will disperses and loses its strength. Clarity of purpose becomes the basis of all successful action. The author recommends that before undertaking any task, we take a few moments to clearly define our objectives and reflect on the purpose of our actions. By doing so, our will is strengthened and concentration becomes a more powerful force for success. The importance of perseverance in concentrated will. Jordan also emphasizes that for focused will to have results, it must be accompanied by perseverance. The author maintains that success does not come immediately. It takes time and constant effort. Perseverance is the key to remaining focused on our goals despite temporary difficulties or failures. Concentrated will means not giving up when things don't go as planned. It is the ability to maintain focus on our long-term goals, even when circumstances challenge us. The author reminds us that great achievements are not achieved quickly but require constant work, dedication, and the ability to persist when the rewards are not immediate. How to avoid the dispersion of will. An important theme that Jordan addresses is how mental dispersion can undermine our concentrated will. Modern life is full of distractions that can dilute our ability to focus on what really matters. Concentrated will requires a focused mind and the ability to eliminate distractions that divert our attention from our goals. The author recommends practicing self-observation to identify moments in which our will disperses. By being aware of these distractions, we can take conscious steps to refocus and get back on track toward our goal. Self-observation allows us to strengthen our ability to concentrate and regain mental control when the mind tends to wander. Controlling thoughts through will. Jordan also talks about how willpower is necessary to control thoughts. Our thoughts are the basis of all our actions, and if we do not have control over what we think, our will is weakened. The author emphasizes that constant concentration on positive and productive thoughts is key to strengthening the will and achieving our goals. The author points out that mental control does not mean suppressing thoughts, but rather consciously directing them towards what we really want to achieve. Concentrated will allows us to replace negative or limiting thoughts with thoughts that strengthen us and keep us focused on success. The relationship between concentrated will and personal success. The chapter concludes with a reflection on how concentrated will is the driving force for personal success. Jordan explains that without a strong will, our ability to persevere in our efforts is severely reduced. Concentrated will not only allows us to achieve our personal and professional goals, but also helps us overcome obstacles, develop resilience, and make the most of our potential. Conclusion of the chapter. This chapter emphasizes that concentrated will is essential to achieve success in any area of life. Concentration is not just a state of mind, but a constant action that requires a strong and determined will. Through discipline, persistence, and self-observation, we can strengthen our ability to concentrate and direct it effectively towards our goals. Concentrated will allows us not only to make good decisions, but also to stay focused on our dreams, overcome obstacles, and ultimately achieve the personal success we desire. Chapter 20. Concentration Review. The Path to Success. In the last chapter of this book, William George Jordan reviews everything he has learned about concentration throughout the previous chapters, emphasizing that concentration is the essential path to success. This chapter serves as a summary of how mental focus and its consistent application can transform our lives, enabling us to achieve our goals, overcome obstacles, and ultimately live up to our ideals. Concentration as the basis for success. Jordan begins this chapter by reaffirming that focus is the pillar on which all success is built. Without concentration, all other qualities such as skill, motivation, and effort are not enough to achieve lasting success. Concentration allows our mind to focus on what really matters, without being diverted by distractions or temptations. The author mentions that many times, people who have extraordinary abilities or great potential do not achieve the success they could due to their lack of concentration. Concentration is the driving force that channels our skills and efforts in a productive and consistent direction. This is why success is not only a matter of capabilities or opportunities, but also of how we focus on the steps necessary to achieve it. The power of the focused mind. Throughout the book, Jordan has emphasized the power of the focused mind. This chapter underscores that our minds have the power to create the reality we desire, but only if we are able to keep it focused on the vision we have for our lives. When we focus, our actions align with our intention, which brings us closer to our goal with each step we take. The author reminds us that, to achieve great results, it is not enough to dream. It is necessary to have a clear vision, a defined strategy, and the determination to move forward, no matter the circumstances. This is only possible when our mind is focused on what really matters. Concentration turns dreams into practical actions and desires into realities. Focus on small daily actions. One of the important points Jordan reviews is that concentration should not be limited to big moments or momentous decisions, but should be applied to small daily actions. Perseverance in small things is what in the long run generates great and lasting results. If we focus on doing well what is in front of us, day after day, we will be building success step by step. The author emphasizes that success does not come magically, but is the cumulative result of focused decisions and actions. Concentration on everyday life allows us to maintain productivity and ensure that every day we get closer to our big goals. Overcoming obstacles through concentration. Another central theme that Jordan reinforces is how concentration is essential to overcoming obstacles. Along the path to any goal, there will always be challenges and setbacks. The difference between success and failure lies in how we deal with those obstacles. Mental concentration gives us the resilience necessary to face difficulties with a positive and determined attitude, without deviating from our objective. The author explains that when the mind is focused on the solution and not the problem, difficulties are perceived as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as insurmountable barriers. This mindset allows us, even when things don't go as planned, to continue moving toward the goal, confident that success is within reach. Concentration as a form of self-transformation. Jordan also reflects on the role of concentration in the process of self-transformation. Concentration not only has an impact on the outside world, but also on our internal world. Through concentration, we can change our habits, replace negative thoughts with positive ones, and develop a stronger character. This self-transformation is what allows us to achieve our goals more effectively and with greater satisfaction. The author highlights that the path to success is directly related to personal growth. As we focus on our goals, we also focus on growing as individuals, improving our skills, attitudes, and thoughts. Concentration is, therefore, a way to strengthen our mind and our ability to adapt in all aspects of life. Conclusion. The Path to a Life of Success and Peace. Jordan concludes the chapter and the book by highlighting that concentration is the path to a successful and fulfilling life. It is not only about achieving material goals, but also about living with purpose and inner harmony. Concentration helps us live a more conscious life, aligned with our deepest values and desires. The author invites us to reflect on everything we have learned and to practice concentration as a daily habit. By doing so, we can transform our lives, achieve success, overcome challenges, and live a fulfilled life in all aspects. This chapter reinforces the importance of concentration not only as a tool to achieve specific goals, but as a fundamental principle to live successfully and peacefully. Concentration is not something that is obtained overnight, but rather a constant path of personal growth and determination, which leads us to create the life we really want. Thank you for having accompanied this journey through the power of concentration. Now, as you finish this audiobook, we invite you to reflect on what you have learned. Concentration is undoubtedly one of the most powerful skills you can cultivate in your life. From mind control to creating your desires, we've explored how this skill can transform every aspect of your life, from your everyday actions to your relationships and larger goals. Remember that concentration is not something that is achieved immediately, but rather a constant path of practice and dedication. Every day, by focusing on what really matters and keeping your mind focused on your goals, you are building the life you want. The principles in this book will enable you to live with purpose, mental strength, and clarity. If this content has been useful to you, I encourage you to continue practicing and applying these principles in your daily life. Concentration not only improves your skills and decisions, it also gives you the inner peace and control you need to thrive. Remember that success is in the mind and starts with focusing on what you want to achieve. If you liked this audiobook, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and be aware of more content that will help you continue developing your potential. Remember that this is just one more step on your path to success. If you want to continue growing, here you will always be surrounded by tools and principles that will take you even further. Thank you for listening, and I wish you success and prosperity on your journey of focus and self-discovery.
See you next time.